Yes, cadet. Peace.
Peace.
I finding that more and more as I come together with you, the times are speeding up into an environment of urgency that since we had the gatherings of the masters has tripled or quadrupled. And when we were speaking on these events to come together, we had no idea how they would come, but we knew that when they did come, we would have to have a certain intestinal as well as soul and spiritual fortitude that will match that intensity. I know that a lot of people tend to gather around accidents, and we tend to be focused and more attracted to destructive things or things that tend to keep our adrenaline paced with the kind of accelerated mentality of this society. So what I'm going to do, aside from all of what it is that this is going to represent today with us, is try to incorporate more than just the bang for the buck kind of mentality. What are we going to do about what we have been predicting is to come? Why are we gathering together? To get our dose of tune in next time. No, something else got to happen. So from now on, wherever I am in the United States, United Snakes of America, wherever I am to speak, I am going to invite the prophets of the time, young prophets of the time, to come forward and speak to the moment, because it is you all that are going to receive the baton, to carry on this message. If I were to fall, you all have to pick up the standard that I am bearing at this moment, because as I have spoken to each and every one, that I am not here to lead anyone. I don't want to be a leader, because that's a trap. The only leader is the one most high, and the way it manifests in each of us, to lead each one of us individually and forward as a collective as a result. So I'm going to take this moment to invite a good brother forward. His name is Nkosi. And I'm going to ask brother to come and stand by my side and speak loudly and clearly to the way the moment has manifested within him. This brother is a seeker, powerful mind, and an energy that represents where I know we are all going. So let's give up a warm one to brother Nkosi.
Once again, peace to the family. As Sanu has already said, my name is Nkosi. Nkosi Mkwasi Kimathi is actually my full name. And I've known Sanu for many years now. And basically what I have to say today, what the spirit of the time is speaking to me, is not so much a movement forward in terms of progress, but actually it is required for us to remember, as I say, remember our mission. We are all born here for a particular reason, and when we take on flesh, we tend to forget our incarnation purpose. And so with that said, I have a piece here called Soul Mnemonics. I don't consider myself a poet, because actually what I see unfolding in me is actually ancestral memory. And so I see my words as actually mnemonics memory aid devices that will help myself and others who read these words or actually hear these words to remember why we are here. These are soul mnemonics for a new harmonic. May you remember your future as I remove the suture from your first eye and show you that you never really die. So come explore as I open the door to my vibratory core, for soul mnemonics come out from my ancient mind to awaken the blind. Because from Attica to Gattaca, they got our light code set to destruct mode, but I choose not to implode, but explode a heavy load of black matter causing illusions to shatter. Not the last batter, but the designated hitter with an automatic spitter of words that you never heard. For these are soul mnemonics for a new harmonic. Asante.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And at each time, everyone who does have something to preface these moments, I will definitely open the floor to give opportunity to say that. I feel that the words that are to come, the words that preface and the words that follow essentially are the same. And we live within a parenthesis. And in that parenthesis do we describe ourselves, or at least jump off of the subject, so to speak, and qualify the subject. And I feel that's what we need to do with each time that we come together.
It's on the side in the front. Blue, black in the center.
Ain't this good? Losing his hearing.
How nice.
Serious karma, right? First, I want to take a moment, and I don't usually give props to old world Caucasoids, but I have to take a moment and give props to this man.
William Coop.
I have to give it up to him because this man showed a lot of courage, being that he came from a brainwashed establishment or brainwashing establishment and took it to them by writing a book that set the pace for how all such books were written in the future. It isn't that he said anything new, it was that he had the courage to come forward and put it down for everyone to see it. He couldn't get it published, but guess what? This book sold more books and was more popular than if it had been published by any high-grade, top-of-the-line publisher. This thing sold more in the streets than it could have on the shelf. And I just want to take a moment to recognize what this white boy did. This is the name of the book. It's called Behold a Pale Horse. And this is the book by William Cooper. And I suggest that if you wish to get a blueprint for the New World Order, it's in here. It's in here. He's mapped all of the secret documents that we were doing from the little pieces. I remember getting the Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars in fragmented 10 generational copies. And we were trying to circulate that, and you could hardly read it. But he put it together in here along with the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion,
Right.
along with the Constitution for the new states of America, which they're getting ready to draft now. The assassination of Kennedy,
Rex 84.
Rex 84, all of the information having to do with lockdown technologies. It's in here. capsulized. Thank you, brother. So if you do have the chance, that book should be part of your library. That book should be part of what it is that you stock, as well as your food. I'm putting this up so that the camera can zoom in, and when you get the tape you could read it for yourself. But this is an account of what happened to Bill Cooper. Got it down off the net. This is an account of the assassination. Some people are saying that Bill Cooper had a gun and they tried to serve him with some papers and he opened fire and shot a deputy in the head. But we don't know that, because the deputy was a rookie and could have been a sacrificial lamb, so that it could set him up for an assassination to kill him and make it look like it was self-defense and that they had to take him out. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. What I'm going to do is allow the camera to just zoom on it for a little while so you could pause it and then read it for yourself, and you'll know what happened. And I will say again, read everything that you get from the newspapers with a grain of salt or with your first eye. This is a mass protest that is getting ready to happen. We don't have all the details, but it is a mass protest, 1 million or more strong, against the New World Order. Underground people's coming forward over the net, flooding the Congress. I'll get more information at this because, quiet as it's kept, I know you know, everyone, that not everybody is going for this okie doke. And if you talk to the average man or woman on the streets, they know something's fishy. It ain't all clicking together, because as you will see, certain things just don't fit. And everybody who seems to be in line with it are becoming more and more of the minority than the majority. And what is happening is those few are going to focus in on the minority and make it look like the majority, based upon the fact that the media can blow everything out of proportion anyway. So I would suggest we keep in contact so that by the next time we get together, hopefully, I will be able to find out what is the ongoing dynamic surrounding this protest that is supposed to be emanating from Middle America outward towards the coasts, everywhere there is a quote-unquote American quote-unquote citizen. Now, before I go forward, the purpose of that is to circumvent this. If we can maybe tilt that a little bit to the side so that we could, yeah. Right. This is going to be the new flag. Home Defense Roundup, internal security for the New World Order. It's going to be everybody. Black, white, native, I don't care who you are. If you got a number and you got a SOS or you got a license, they want you. Uncle Sam wants you. So with that, I'm going to start off at a walk. And I'm going to touch upon what is to happen for us spiritually, so that we can gird ourselves against the war that is not actually taking place on this plane. It's actually just expressing itself visibly on this plane. But there is a serious war going on the spiritual and etheric planes. So first, I wish to say that I have a lot of ground to cover, so much so that it may not be possible to relate to you all of the vital points in this single session. I will, however, provide for enough time to end these proceedings with a secret, semi-secret, communique, that by my revealing it to you may put yours and my life in danger. Which is why I am duty bound to forewarn everyone in attendance here that if they wish to leave at the time I am to reveal that information, they should do so. Another thing, I am, as by law, if we still have any, going to make an announcement to the gathering here that if any one of you, singular or plurally, are members of the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, the police in and out of jurisdictions, if any of you or any collectives of you are here present today to either film or tape record this session, you are not allowed to do so. And I am asking you now, by law, to reveal yourself and leave. If not, all that is said here cannot be used against anyone here present. And that goes for any associated with those organizations or individuals. That being the case, I will proceed. As always, I wish to give thanks to our illustrious ancestors who, by their genetic uplinking and downloading of inspiration into me and all who are gathered here, and by the grace of the divine cosmic intelligences, I am permitted to speak to you today. I wish to thank my family for being my family, extended and immediate. I wish to thank all those who assisted me in this arduous task towards revealing the reality and towards helping in our enlightenment. I'd like to give special thanks to Queen Sister Mother Nalani Sopneti Ra. I would like to give thanks to Sister Queen Renee Spruill. I'd like to give thanks to Sister Puma Lagitania. I would like to give thanks to Sister Karen Dickerson. I would like to give thanks to Brother Nkosi. Thanks to Dr. Ann Brown, Professor Rosalind Jeffries, my blood brother, not in attendance here today, my blood brothers, Vernon Burton and Leonardo Reyes. I would like to give a big up to Brother Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation. I would like to give another big up to Brother Hakeem Bey for all the work that he and his circle are doing. And of course, the brothers constituting the Metaphysical University of the Streets, Grassroots Productions, Brother Big Man, Brother Leroy, Brother Azariah in Black Market Productions, all of you who have decided to take a stand, dig in, and help to establish this new paradigm. Everybody give it up for everybody concerned. With all that said, I'd like to clarify that the title of today's lecture is in no way totally connected to the substance of what is about to be decoded. In fact, it may want to be renamed at the end of this proceedings, and you may name it the way you wish to. Most of what I am saying is just to kind of call the spirit to the moment anyway. Yes, we will cover the topic of biological warfare, and yes, by all means, we will endeavor to cover as much info on genetic ascension. But if by the time we are through here today, it appears that we do not cover all that is to be covered, please rest assured that it will be continued in our next gathering, and I intend to do so. During our time together, it may appear as if I'm jumping from subject to subject. This cannot be helped due to the short time we have to understand all that is occurring simultaneously to this moment, even as we are gathered here today. I cannot catch up with everything and bring it into perspective. I have to take one thing at a time, and then each one of you are to pull it together, you see, and tie the rope around that and strengthen yourself around those pieces of information. I have tons of information. I have become initiated in so many different factors around so many different subjects that it's very difficult for me to just speak on one thing. So, beloved, for as long as you have known me, you have always heard me say that no matter what, that anything having to do with the Spirit and the activities of the Spirit are no accident. Therefore, this gathering and all gatherings occurring like this around the world are vibratory cells of progressive awareness that is incubating the consciousness seeds of the coming time. You have chosen to choose yourself, to become an elite circle of light workers who by your very thought processes make you eligible for membership in a cosmic elite. But as you know, to whom much is given, much is expected. You, I call my fellow dream walkers. From now on, those who come in attendance together with me are essentially stepping into the circle of dream walkers. The following words were spoken to me at our last gathering by the collective. That is, the harmonic tone that struck by each of you as you give your precious attention to me. Do you realize that every time you pay attention, you strike a note, a chord, a tone that is harmonized? Everything about you right now, every interference that comes with every spurious thought has now quieted. Because why? You have given me your attention. And when you go into a mode of learning, all thought stops. So most of your thoughts are based upon discordant experiences, things that you're going through right now, the events of the time, the events of the day, the family, the society immediate and extended. All of that is creating a thought process, a thought flow that is causing your bioelectricity to become disharmonized. As we are here together gathered, and we are paying attention to one another, that attention quiets those discordant sounds. And now you are in the realm of the dream walker. So learning ceases thought. And here's what each one of you all said to me. I am a dream walker. I am the I am that will be. And as this is so, I am God asleep. For God could not know itself unless I sleep. For God awake is a God unknown. For all that is, actually is, all that is not. So I sleep, and in that sleep do I dream. And in my dream do I break the seal of perfect ignorance, to witness, to become, to feel, to desire, to touch the dark path, to emerge from the other side, a seed of light, and SEED that has SEEN, my true self. I am God incarcerated, sentenced to a technicolor dream, the perfect dream of an imperfect perfection, where forever and eternal I am as I sleep, the I am that I am, a dream walker in the I am that will be. That is what you told me. I've been told that I am of Olmec Mayan descent. I was also told that they wrote many a prophecy concerning this very time that we are living in now. Their prophecies were documented in calendar form called the Zokin, because the blood codes of their genetic programming made them obsessive, quintessential timekeepers. In the Olmec Mayan prophecies, it was stated that in our time frame numbering 1987, a planetary alignment will cause the striking of a celestial tone or harmonic that would be a cosmic alarm clock sounding. This clock would signal the fact that our solar system, a consciousness time zone of awareness, has reached its final stages in an evolutionary cycle for the human atomic structure called the ninth hell. This was written by the Olmec Mayans. In 1987, a tone was struck, and that tone was a doorway that was described by the ancestors as the ninth hell. And it's interesting that a movie came out called The Ninth Gate. The Ninth Gate, starring Johnny Depp. He played a man in this movie called Dean Corso. Dean Corso, C-O-R-S-E. Now, it's funny because you know I have to tell you that every time you look at a movie or you hear a news story, you cannot look at things in the surface. You must investigate why they choose the name, why they choose the particular person. So you look up the word dean, and you see the word dean means an administrative officer in charge of a college, faculty, a division of a university, an officer of a college or high school who counsels students and supervises the enforcement of rules, the head of a chapter of canons governing a cathedral or collegiate church, a priest appointed to oversee a group of parishes within a diocese. You take the key words and you put them aside. His last name was Corso. Dean Corso. Taking the significant words within the definition dynamic and placing it with the name Corso, you see the word corpse. So he essentially was a priest of the dead. He was dead and he didn't know it. He was visited by an archangel that kept on bugging him. Now, Johnny Depp played a man who was a priest of the dead. He was looking for a book called The Nine Gates of the Kingdom of Shadows, written in, get this, 1666, by a name named Aristito Torquay. He was also hoping to find another book, a book reputed to have been written by Satan himself called the De La Millenicum. The De La Millenicum. I'm telling you books you need to go and check. In the end, he is shown the ritual of the 9 gates, and the movie leaves you at the point where he is going for a face-to-face meeting with Satan himself. And that was the end of the movie, and he is fading away. As you see the movie vamping, he is walking into the light that is supposed to be the meeting place and the gate of hell itself to have a meeting with Satan. And then in 2001, you see him emerge in another movie called From Hell. Putting the two movies together, what do you get? The 9th gate from hell. You need to go and see those two pictures. Rent the copy, look at the copy and see what's being said. by all the people who are playing the roles that they are playing. And then go see From Hell. There are messages every time these particular subjects are brought up. They do it for themselves. They do it to entertain themselves and to inform themselves. So there are no accidents. There is no accident to the fact that he made a movie called The Ninth Gate, and then after another movie he makes From Hell. Something to think about, something to discuss in depth at another time. The Olmec Mayan prophecy went on to say that when this tone or this cosmic alarm harmonic was struck, it would be the signal for the beginning of 25 years of madness, chaos, suffering, and anguish before our solar system begins its ascent to the 13th heaven. Now, if you think the Illuminati is not keeping pace with everything that our ancestors have put down, you're sadly mistaken. Because essentially all subjects of our ancestors are represented specifically in the symbologies of today. I told you the last time that this particular word is significant in that the name itself works towards letting you know what has been colonized and why. It is within this realm that all of your creative mentalities, all of the creative electrodynamics that you use as thought processes are taken form, are given a matrix by which to manifest itself. Within the nation of the Magi, which is essentially the etheric realms, thought has the four elements of the word unimpeded. This is why, as I spoke before, they do their best to paralyze your children's imagination and colonize it by infusing their imagination with symbols that displace their ability to create higher thought forms and bring it to this reality. That is why Pokemon was invented. That is why Scooby-Doo and all the rest of these ridiculous characters have been put into your children's imagination so that they can offset and circumvent the ability of your child to talk with realms on the other side. Yes. If your children are preoccupied in their dreams and in their waking state with symbols that keep their mind focused in realms that were orchestrated by the Illuminati and by the archons themselves, then the symbols of the archons, the little demons that they give your children to play with, become the materials that they bring from the other side. So within your imagination, there is a sovereign nation that has been colonized. And until you receive that back and become sovereign within your thoughts first, right, you will never be sovereign in your body. Yes. Because there was an attack, and it is a constant barrage and attack against the nation of the Magi, your Imagi nation. And it is in that realm do we need for us to come together to find the solutions for the time, to clear that mind, that nation, or that consolidated, colonized portion of our perception. That must be swept clean for us to now receive the light codes that are beaming in at this very moment, but are obscured by the distorted information